Hi, I'm Mary O'Brien, Director of Community Education. Welcome to another edition of Unity Through Community. It's a monthly show where we talk about things that are going on in the Hastings community and about Hastings community education. And since it's summer, I want to just point out a few things that we have going on this summer that you might want to think about taking part of. One is, especially for kids, you know, we have so much great stuff for kids this summer, and I know we're only a week or so into it, and the kids might not be bored yet, but once they start getting a little itchy about things to do, one of the things that'll start on Monday, I think it's June 11, 12, 13, 14. It's Monday, June 15th. Thank you. My guest, Lori Thrush, is filling me in here. Monday, June 15th is our PITS program, Playgrounds in the Summer. We're at Pioneer Park and at Lions Park this year, and then also out at Vermilion and Hampton Township. The morning session goes from 9:30 to 12:30, the afternoon session from 1:30 to 3:30. Kids are free to come and go as they want. So I think it's important for parents to know that it's a supervised program while the kids are at the park, but that they don't have to stay the entire time. They are encouraged to go home for lunch. At Pioneer Park, they actually have to go home for lunch. At Lions Park this year, the Meals program, which is being sponsored by Hastings Family Service, will have a cold lunch at Lions, and so if the kids are there, they're welcome to stay for lunch. And the Meals staff will supervise the kids while they're having lunch. The PIT staff will be having their own lunch break, which they really need. So, and those programs here in Hastings are Monday through Thursday, every day, rain or shine. If the weather is really bad, we don't have the program, but we do have shelters at both places. So if it looks like it might shower in the morning and then get better, we probably will start. You can always check our website, www.hastingscommunityed.com, or call us at 651-480-7670, and we can update you on whether or not PITS is going that day. It's the best part about it is it's free. It's a free program. We do ask if parents want to make a $10 free will donation toward all the supplies that we use for the program. It's a joint powers program, so we do it in conjunction with the City of Hastings, so and their Park and Rec department. So PITS will be starting next Monday. We don't have PITS the week of the 4th of July, so it's the last week in June there that we will not have PITS. So hopefully we'll see your kids at the park. It's for kids who have completed kindergarten through 6th grade. So if your child did not go to kindergarten this past year and they're like 5 years old, we really encourage that they're not ready for the program. We start with the kids who have graduated kindergarten, so to speak. So that's coming up. We have all of our various enrichment classes. Our Camp Horizons program started this week, going great guns. They have fabulous field trips a couple times a week. All that information is at our website, www.hastingscommunityed.com. And we don't forget about people who are 50 plus during the summer. So my guest today is Lori Thrush, who is our Senior Center and Disabilities Coordinator. Hello, Lori.
Hello.
Thank you for correcting me on what day it was. My head was like, what day is that going to be? So yes, today, yeah, we're good to go. The Senior Center program has grown by leaps and bounds. So how many members do you have right now?
We have almost 1,220 members. We're
wow.
even higher than last year, so
wow.
we just keep growing.
Wow. What, excuse me, what do you attribute that to? Why do you think our Senior Center members, other than the fact that there are more seniors or more people 50 plus?
Right. I think partly it's our location. Moving into the community center, we can offer so much more at one time, you know, and so there's a lot to do in our community for seniors, from volunteering and exercising, all those kinds of things, but you know, we fill a niche, and so we can offer those programs that obviously are meeting the needs of our 50 plus population.
Cool. And that's one thing that you have over the last couple years really helped reorient the senior center. So because it's kind of an interesting spot right now with people moving into those retirement years, but not maybe being retired as soon, or they're empty nesters and they're looking for things to do. I just found a website yesterday, I can't remember what it was, but it's a local group of folks that are looking to get together, and they're empty nesters. That's what, they're saying, okay, now my kids are gone and I want to do some stuff. So.
I think that's partly why, as we look, of course, the boomers, that was a big part of the population, but opening it up to 50 plus, because a lot of 50-year-olds, and not all, I mean, some, I've got friends that are in their 50s that still have kids in grade school, and so we're really spread out. I'm a grandparent, but those that have their kids that have left home, and you don't have those connections with the events that your kids were involved in,
right,
are now looking at, okay, what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to be involved in? And what I heard, even a number of years ago, was somebody that was on a trip with me. She was still working in her 50s, and she was talking about a volleyball league that she was a part of. And she said, I can't keep up with the 20-year-old teams
right,
in my volleyball league. And so I think that's partly what that 50-plus age group is just looking for, a new dynamic of what they're going to do in their life. Who do they want to be involved in and with? And so we've opened it up, and we've had a lot of people join us at that 50-plus age group. And I think part of it is knocking down the walls of what we think of as a senior and
right,
a part of the senior center. And I wrote a column in a newsletter once that said, you try keeping up with the people that are playing pickleball, that are...
All right, so I was going to ask you, what are some of the things that you think are drawing people in? So there might be people who would go pickleball. Okay, is it like you hit balls with pickles, or what do you do?
Pickleball is a kind of a modified game of tennis. You use an oversized, I think it looks like an oversized ping pong paddle.
Okay.
With a weighted wiffle ball,
okay,
tennis nets that are a little lower, and a court that's smaller, and you
okay,
play doubles. So you don't
okay,
have to run as much, you don't have to cover as much ground, but it's very fast-paced and it's fun, and it's kind of played like badminton and ping pong at the
okay,
same time.
Okay.
So it's just, it was hot in the south, and it's moved its way north, and so we're trying to meet those needs of pickleball. Things like yoga. When I started 29 years ago, having a yoga class would have been the furthest thing from our mind. But it's about doing things, keeping our bodies as limber, as active as we can as we age. And so things like that, art classes.
Because that's one thing I see over and over again, is keeping your mind sharp. Challenging yourself, trying something new, going back to something that you had an interest in, and then it wasn't that the interest went away, but the time was taken in other
right,
spots, and so now you can come and do this again.
Yeah, and you can reconnect, in our bocce ball, that we now have a place for it in our backyard, our beautiful backyard at Tilden. And I love it because it brings people, you don't have to, have a partner to play it. You can just come, they form the teams. People have renewed friendships that they had maybe when their kids were young, or they've made new friends. And I think the senior center, there's one story of a gal who moved here from the East Coast, and she was looking to connect. She knew no one in the community. And now through the senior center, she's involved in pickleball, and she does Zumba, and she has a whole group of friends now that she didn't have before she walked through those doors. So it is a great place to connect with other people.
And I think what we've seen is the encouragement that people give each other. I just see it with the card players. So yes, that's a typical thing that you might see at a senior center program, is people playing cards. And so the card players, they tend to be a regular group, and if somebody's not there, people worry about them. They ask about them. They want to know, are they okay? Are they around? And we also got encouraged to offer cards in the evening.
Right. And
by that 50-plus group.
Yep, the group has just grown. On Tuesday nights they play 500, and now they've added bridge. And you know, it's been a great group. And you're right. I mean, a lot of new people have come in and tried it and said, hey, this isn't such a bad place. And I think once you get over, you know, when you look around your neighborhoods or your neighbors and who your neighbors are, and in the neighborhood I live in, we've got young families to people that are older than my husband and I. And, you know, you don't think anything about spending time with those people. You have fun, you know. And so it's not your typical, you know, frail elderly person,
Right.
although we have some of those. But you know what? They're the kind of people I like hanging out with because they're still getting out. They're doing everything they can
Yes.
to stay engaged in their community. And those are the people that I want to associate with as I age. And so, I mean, maybe I've just been around them so long, I'm just inspired. Because, you know, we all, as we age, and we've talked about this a lot, our bodies change, our minds change, and you've got to stay active. You've got to keep going,
Right.
and it's a great way to do that. And those who accept those changes and modify their lives and stay involved in what they can are the ones that I think age the healthiest. And those are the ones that inspire me, and you know, I want to grow up to be like them.
Yeah, there are a number of people at our senior center program that I look like, and I say, "Oh, you know what? You are such a good role model for me. You are showing me the way.
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah.
pathway of how to age gracefully and how to stay active and how to stay involved."
Right, right.
So yeah, what are some things that are going on this summer for people 50 plus?
Well, we just started a walking club that are going to meet twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 a.m. On Mondays, they're going to meet at down underneath the bridge across from, like right by the Bella Vista there. There's a little parking lot
yeah.
under the bridge. They're going to meet there, and then they're going to take off in different directions and walk. And then on Wednesdays, they're going to meet out at Shars Bluff at
Oh, nice.
Spring Lake Park. They're going to meet by the children's playground in
Okay.
that parking lot. So when
Okay.
you come to the Y, you stay right and you know, walk for an hour or so, and you know, just get moving. And we're encouraging people of all different levels. We've got some people that are just trying to take up walking, and for them, you know, to walk 20 minutes at a leisurely pace is pushing it. We've got others that are avid walkers. So there's kind of something for everyone. So
Good.
if you're looking, and I don't know about, you know, you, but for me, when I'm walking with somebody, that time flies by.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can walk further.
Yep.
You
And
know.
you have a conversation,
Yep,
and then
yep.
again, it's that social aspect because it helps you not be isolated.
That's right.
You know, I overheard a couple people talking this morning in our welcome center at Tilden, and they were talking about someone they were trying to get, they were encouraging to get involved. And they said, you know, she doesn't feel well, but she's going to feel so much better if she just gets out of the house. And I thought, you know, that's really true. And sometimes you have to push yourself really
Yeah,
hard to
really
take that
hard.
first step.
Yeah.
But
So if
yeah.
you know people are waiting for you
Yeah.
to go walking,
Yeah.
you know, they, I think it'll just help people. So we've got that going on. Of course, we've got our bocce ball in the backyard on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. You can come, you know, come hit or miss.
You don't have to know how to play bocce.
Nope. There were people, I took pictures last night, and there were people there that didn't know how to play, hadn't played before. You know, in our pickleball, we've got a music jam starting, and it's going to be meeting on Thursdays in July and August at 4 o'clock. And, you know, if you play an instrument, a guitar, a banjo, we've got an accordion player, just come and jam together. I'm amazed at the music they make.
Oh, it is so lovely.
Yep. So that's really
And
fun.
I noticed that last time there were a couple people who came just to sing.
Yes.
So that's their instrument,
Yep.
is
You
their
can come
voice.
listen.
And then there were people who came
You know,
just to listen.
our goal is to have it grow enough. I know at the senior center in Cottage Grove, they have dancers. I mean, people come and dance to the
how
jam
fun.
music. So we'll be in the Rivertown Days Parade. We'll have Rivertown Bingo. In July, we have our annual picnic going on in August. So, you know, a lot of things. Oh, plus we're trying to get a Saints game going.
Yeah, well, that's
So
right.
if anybody's interested in going to a Saints game, we have just kind of an interest list. We're looking at a game in August. And as soon as we get enough names on that interest list, we'll probably go ahead and get the tickets and go. So
And it's that
people,
brand new CHS Field in Lowertown. And if you haven't been to Lowertown or into St. Paul in a while, it'll knock your socks off because that area is just like
Yeah.
with the depot, and it's turned over, and it's great.
And it's a great way to go. You get dropped off right at
Yep.
the door, basically from the bus.
Don't
and-
have to drive.
Yep, and park. So
Yeah.
please call us at 480-7689, and we'll get your name on the interest list
Okay.
for that.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about Let's Go Fishing.
Let's Go Fishing. The Rotary Club bought a boat. Gosh, I can't even remember how many years ago we've been doing this now, but they sponsored the boat, paid for that. It's docked in Prescott, and it's available to seniors in the community and also to nursing homes, assisted livings, people with disabilities. And we offer trips Monday through Thursday, either 10 to noon or 1 to 3. And you can either get on a trip that's just going for a leisurely ride on the river or one that's fishing, and all the life jackets, the fishing equipment, everything's provided. You just need your fishing license
Okay.
if you need to have that, and it's free of charge.
It's
and they
free.
just call the center again to get a ride on the boat.
Wow. And are you still looking for volunteers to help with that program?
Well, we do have volunteers. I'm sure we can, try to get you plugged in. There is a training that you have to go through at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
But yeah, they can always use volunteers for that.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit too about the campfire sing-along that we're going to do.
Campfire Sing-Along, we're doing it on Thursday, July 9th at 6:30. It was suggested at one of our, I think it was a new members luncheon, it was an idea of just campfire tunes that kids know, adults know, or that adults can teach kids. So we're going to have a little campfire in the backyard at Tilden with some s'mores. You can just bring your blankets or lawn chairs, bring your kids, your grandkids. All kids have to be accompanied by an adult.
Okay.
And just come and have a fun evening, singing those good old camp tunes. So
Oh, that sounds like so
we gotta have
much
a gal
fun.
that's going to be there to lead us in with her guitar.
Oh, that sounds like so
Yeah.
much fun. Yeah, I think that'll be a really nice evening, and it is an intergenerational, multi-generational event.
Yep.
So
Yep.
just come and enjoy yourself. Now, the other part of your job is as disabilities coordinator. So, do you want to talk a little bit about that and what happens through that position?
Well, we serve adults with disabilities through our Club Happenings program that we call it. And then we also have a program for our middle school and high school students called Teen Time.
Okay.
In our Club Happenings, we offer various activities through the year. In the summer, it's we've got a couple, we've got 3 events. We've got a sand art class.
Oh,
We've got a superheroes class
Okay.
in August. The sand art is in June.
Okay.
There's still openings for that one. And then we have a year-end kind of picnic at
Okay.
Spring Lake Park in August. And then Let's Go Fishing trips throughout the summer.
Okay.
So they can register. The Let's Go Fishing trips are free. There is a fee for the sand art and the superheroes class.
Okay.
But those are a wide range of outings to game nights to craft classes, just gym nights, a wide variety of
Cool.
things for our adult population with disabilities. And then our Teen Time program serves the kids in middle school and high school, that it's kind of their after school time to socialize with their peers.
Okay.
And we also have some mentors from the high school students that
Oh,
come
great.
and work with them. So that'll be starting up again in September.
Okay. And now during the summer, the cards that happen, what are some of the regularly scheduled activities at the senior center at Tilden, so that if people wanted to take part in those, they would know what to do and when to do them?
We play everything from cribbage to on Mondays. We have poker on Tuesdays, and now Thursdays we've added that, and a couple nights of a poker tournament. That was something that started out with one lady teaching one other gal how to play poker, and it's just blown up. And we play hearts and 500 and bridge.
And now one thing I noticed with the poker, because every time I go through there, they say, "Come on, Mary, sit down and play poker." And I say, "Well, here, I'll just give you the money. It would go faster." I'm not a card player, but I did notice that there was a table where someone was teaching people how to play cards, and there were a lot of women sitting back there learning how to play poker.
And we have that, that'll pick up again in the fall. It's kind of
Okay.
wrapped up for the summer, but in the fall, yeah, they have a whole table of people just, and Ricky Larson, who is also a yoga instructor, has taught poker. She's the one that started poker many years ago. With
because
one
she was a
lady.
dealer in Vegas.
She was a dealer in Vegas.
So one day my son came down to, he had some business in town, and I was walking him through, and I said, Ricky, tell Tom where you had dealt in Vegas. Where hadn't she been a dealer? I mean, she had been kind of all over the strip, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And you know, the card thing, I know people think, oh, that they just sit around and play cards. Well, you should play cards with some of these people. They are sharp card players, and it is great for the mind to keep it active. And you know what? Senior centers knew long before the studies showed how important it is to keep your mind active. You know, we've been doing it for years, and it's just a great way. And learning something new is always a good thing.
Yep, or picking up a game you played a long time ago and saying, let's play it again. Okay, so you do that when, do you do cards in the evening?
We do cards, 500 in bridge on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
And then poker is a couple nights, a couple Monday evenings.
Okay.
Too.
Okay, and you have your ongoing support groups, and the quilters are there, and the rug hookers are there, so you just have every day of the week. If anybody ever comes in to meet with me, they'll always say, this building is so busy, even in the summer, when our early childhood kids aren't around, that there's so much going on at the Senior Center program. And one thing we started last year that really got, I think, a good foundation, and I'm thinking we'll continue it, is the Life Reimagined checkups through AARP. Do you want to talk a little bit about those?
Well, it's for people that are kind of entering that next phase of life. Maybe, you know, if you want to call it pre-retirement, retirement isn't even a word that they're using as much anymore, but we all know what that means, and we know what pre-retirement thoughts are.
I think what retirement means for a lot of people is you just don't have to get up and go the same place every day.
Right.
Yeah, and then, but there's so much else that
Life
happens.
Reimagined is about, what do I want to do in that next stage of my life, even while I'm working. And then as I look towards not working, do I want to start and be involved in a different kind of a job or work or volunteer, or what are my hobbies? What are my passions? I think for a lot of us while we're working, we put all of those on the back burner. And we kind of have to reimagine what life is going to look like. And that's where those classes come in. I took one, and I didn't take it with my husband. A lot of couples take it, but I did not take it with my husband, and it forced me to go, okay, what does Lori want to do in retirement? I couldn't look at him like, well, what are we going to do? It was, what do I want to do? What are my passions? What things really turn me on that I want to continue, or I want to start exploring now as I head into that next phase of my life? And because we plan for financial retirement, but we don't always plan about what we're going to do with our time. And I think those that kind of plan and kind of start to dabble in some things slide into that next phase a lot easier.
Right. And so we did 2 or 3 last year, 4 or 5?
I can't even remember.
Yeah, but we will do them again this fall and into the winter. And for people who've already taken Life Reimagined, we did offer Life Reimagined What's Next, which was just another conversation for people to come back together and say, okay, I took this class, but now what am I doing? So it's another way of holding yourself accountable, of coming into a group of people, or for asking for advice or for suggestions. One of the gentlemen who came to that class talked about how he went to Life Reimagined, and he really, one of his things was he wanted to get in shape, and he'd been saying that his whole life, and he walked away from there saying, well, you know, no time like the present. And so he picked up the community ed book, and he looked at the classes, and he signed up for a class, and he was like, you know, that was the best thing I ever did, and I don't know, you know, I'm not the best person in the class, but I don't know why I never did that before. And so, you know, I think that's one of the things that can happen through those Life Reimagined is it just sort of gives you a nudge, you know, and sometimes you're ready to open the door and go through it, and sometimes you're not. But we also did a class called Life Reimagined, a Deeper Dive, where if people really wanted to get into it, because Life Reimagined is based on a book written by Richard Leiter. So this is an hour and a half workshop. You're not going to get the whole depth of it, but we did do a couple sessions of that, and I think we'll probably look to do that again as well. And then you and I are always talking about, okay, so what are people talking about? What do they need? What kinds of interests do they have? And we've done a number of our coffee and conversations, and I think we'll continue to do some of those, and look at as you're moving into that phase of your life, what kind of support do you need, and how can we help you through community education? So that's really a neat thing. What's one of your favorite stories from the Senior Center?
I think, I shared one of mine, this gal who moved into town and became friends, but there was another, this was a few years ago, there was a lady that came in that her family had moved her to town and she wasn't very happy about it. And so they called me and asked, what do you offer? And we found out that she enjoyed reading, and we had her join our book discussion. And she didn't want to come, and so I asked one of the book discussion participants to call and invite her to come, and she did. Well, they ended up becoming fast friends. They did several extended trips together, and I love that when friendships are formed. And I just see that meeting a huge need. And like you said, when people, we haven't seen so and so for a while, and they all sign a card and send it off to them, or whatever. I mean, I love those friendships that come out of it, because as we know, and life changes sometimes. Sometimes people are very fortunate to have friends that they've had for years.
Right.
But some people, their friendships change, through their jobs or through church involvement or whatever. And so, sometimes I think people get to this stage in their life and it's like, wow, I'm not connected. Or there's those people moving back into town because their kids live here and they just don't know anybody. So I think that's the part that really excites me.
Yeah. Well, you do a wonderful job, and I know everybody at the Senior Center program they rightfully think that you walk on water. So thank you for everything you've done. You've been with the Senior Center program for over 25 years. So, all the good work that happens, you've laid the foundation and you keep moving it and moving it and moving it. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
That's it for Unity through Community for this episode. And I hope that you all are enjoying the summer so far. And if you're ever at a loss for anything to do, make sure you look us up online, hastingscommunityed.com.